All right, welcome everybody to another deep dive. We are ready to, as always, dive into some fascinating material that you, the listener, have sent our way.
Excited to dig in.
Today, we're taking a look at vwap.
vwap.
Yeah, that's a volume-weighted average price.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I think a lot of people, when they hear that, they think, oh, this is just for, Wall Street traders, people playing the stock market. But I actually think there's a lot here for anyone who's interested in how markets work.
Yeah, absolutely.
In any context.
Yeah.
Even if it's just trying to figure out, when to buy that hot new gadget before it sells out.
Right. Supply and demand.
Exactly. So let's start with the basics here. Can you give us like a VWAP 101? Like, what is this thing?
Sure.
Why should we care?
So VWAP, it's all about figuring out the true price of something.
Okay.
Like you see a price tag, right?
Right.
But that's not the whole story.
Right.
Because what if there's only like one left?
Right.
And they jacked up the price?
Yeah.
Or what if everyone's buying it at a discount?
Right.
So VWAP takes that into account. It takes the price and how much is actually being traded at that price to give you like a more accurate picture.
So it's not just like the highest price or the lowest price. It's kind of like the average price that people are actually paying.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this could be useful. So let's say, I see a headline, on my news feed. Oh, this stock is skyrocketing. It's up 20% today.
Yeah.
But if you look closer and you see, oh, well, only like 100 shares traded at that price.
Right. Tiny volume. Does that really mean anything?
Exactly. And that's what VWAP helps you see through.
Okay.
It's like, okay, maybe there was a little blip,
Right.
but did real volume actually trade there?
I see.
That's kind of the idea.
Okay. So we're getting a clearer picture of what's really happening.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's what it is and kind of the problem it solves.
Right.
But how do we actually calculate it? And I'm going to warn you, I'm not a math whiz. So, break it down for me.
Yeah, sure.
Simple terms.
Imagine a farmer's market.
Right? Yeah. Well,
You got all these different vendors selling apples.
okay.
Some are $1, some are, $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a fancy organic booth selling them for $2.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just average those three prices to figure out what the average price people are paying.
Right.
You got to think about how many apples were sold at each price.
Right. That makes sense.
VWAP does exactly that, but with stocks.
Okay.
It weighs the price by the volume of shares traded at each price point. So it's a more accurate picture of what people are actually paying.
Okay. That Apple analogy makes a lot of sense.
So there you go.
So I'm starting to get it now. We've got the what, we've got the how, but what does it actually mean?
Right.
Like if a stock's trading above its VWAP,
Yep.
what's the takeaway there?
So if a stock's trading above its VWAP, it usually means there's strong demand.
Sure.
People are willing to pay a premium.
Compared to its average price for the day. It's like that hot new video game console that everyone wants. If it's selling above its VWAP consistently, it's a sign that people are really excited about it.
Even if it means paying a little extra.
Even if it means paying a little extra, they gotta have it, right?
Right.
But on the flip side, if it's below VWAP,
Yeah.
it can be a signal that demand's a little weaker.
Okay. So
So,
above VWAP good, below VWAP bad.
well, not always. Like, you got to think about context.
Right.
What if the entire market's down that day?
Right.
It's not always a perfect indicator.
Yeah.
But it's a good guide.
A helpful data point.
Exactly.
Okay, so who's actually using this? In the real world, who's looking at VWAP?
So you've got your big institutional investors. Think like mutual funds, pension funds.
Right, yeah.
They manage a ton of money. And they're using VWAP to see how efficiently they're executing trades, right?
Okay.
Because when you're dealing with massive amounts of money, you don't want to move the market against yourself.
Right. So they're looking to minimize their impact.
Okay, that makes sense. So these big players are using it. I imagine day traders are probably using this too.
Yep, absolutely.
So how are they using VWAP in their strategies?
So, they're using it as kind of a roadmap.
Okay.
The idea is to buy below VWAP and sell above it.
Okay. Buy low, sell high. Yeah.
Exactly. And VWAP can help you kind of identify those sweet spots.
Right, where supply and demand are in balance.
Exactly. And it's also great for confirming trends. So you see a stock going up, but the volume's kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, is this real? Is this sustainable?
Right.
But if it's consistently trading above its VWAP, then that tells you, okay, there are real buyers stepping in.
So you can have more confidence in that trend.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, in the material you sent over, it talked about VWAP usually being calculated for a single day.
Right.
But what if you want to look at longer-term trends?
Yeah,
Is there a way to use VWAP for that?
absolutely. That's where moving vwap comes in. Moving vwap. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically VWAP, but instead of just one day, you're averaging over multiple days or even weeks. It's
Okay.
like a moving average, but specifically for VWAP.
Okay. So it smooths it out a little bit.
Exactly. So you get a broader perspective.
You can see those longer term trends.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So we know what it is. We know how to calculate it, sort of.
Sort of.
We know who uses it. But how do traders actually use it in their strategies? What are some like specific ways that they're applying this?
Yeah, so one common way is trend confirmation, like we talked about.
Okay.
You're looking to see, is the price consistently above or below VWAP?
Mm-hmm.
That gives you more confidence about the direction of the trend.
Right. Okay.
Another popular strategy is breakout trading.
Breakout trading. Okay.
So when the price crosses that VWAP line decisively, it can be a sign of a breakout.
Okay.
And that's, an opportunity to jump in.
Potentially catch a big move.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then lastly, you can use VWAP as dynamic support or resistance levels.
Okay. So like it acts like a floor or ceiling for the price.
Exactly.
Okay. So traders are watching how the price behaves
Yeah.
around those levels to help them make decisions about buying and selling.
Exactly.
Okay. So basically VWAP is like this secret decoder ring, right?
Like that.
Helping us see through the noise and understand what's really driving prices.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing how factoring in that volume piece
Right.
can really change our perspective.
100%.
But here's something I was thinking about. I mean, we've been talking about this in the context of stocks, but could we apply this VWAP concept to other things? Like what about social media engagement or the popularity of products or even like the spread of ideas? Could we look at those things through the lens of VWAP and kind of see trends that we wouldn't normally see?
I love that. It's like finding the volume behind the buzz, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What's driving the attention.
Yeah. So that's something I think would be really interesting to explore. So there you have it, VWAP. Not just for Wall Street anymore.
Nope.
Something we can all use. So thanks for joining us on another deep dive. And as always, keep sending us your thought-provoking materials.
We'll keep diving.
We'll be back soon with more fascinating insights.
See you next time.
See you later.